Hi, my name is Carlos Sanchez, and today I'll be teaching you how to shoot the soccer ball with various techniques. The first technique is the inside curve shot. This shot is relatively simple, but once it is mastered, it becomes extremely difficult for goalkeepers to deal with because it is a very accurate shot. This shot involves using the inside of the soccer cleat to make contact with the ball, then whipping the foot around the ball to get a curling effect. The first step is to plant your standing foot about 3 to 4 inches from the ball. Next, contact with the ball will be made using the inside of the foot. Once contact has been made, a slight whip of the foot is needed to make the ball spin. This motion will make the ball curve. A long follow through for the shot is vital as it guides the ball towards the desired direction. The run-up for this technique can vary on the player. In this clip, I use a 4-step run-up. In this side angle, you can see that the inside of my foot makes contact with the ball. The follow-through is extended so that the ball can curve as much as possible while it travels through the air. Contact with the ball should be made slightly to the left of the center of the ball so that your foot can have a chance of wrapping around it to make it spin. If you are aiming for the top of the goal, the ball must be struck lower so that your foot lifts it off the ground, and vice versa if you are aiming low. This technique provides the most accurate shots. Next is the power shot. This shot is basically all force. However, proper technique is required to be able to aim it. The shot is fast and difficult to stop. This technique takes advantage of your leg's positioning to achieve speed and power. Your planting foot must be about 5 to 6 inches from the ball. This allows your leg to be as vertical as possible, which allows you to generate a lot of power. Once you make contact with the ball, striking through by speeding up your swing will add even more power. As seen in these stills, a large follow-through is also needed to help control the direction of the flight of the ball. For this technique, a more centered run-up is necessary to build up more speed as you approach the ball. The backswing of your striking leg must also be long to build up the maximum amount of energy possible before striking the ball. In order to achieve a straight shot, the ball must be struck almost exactly in the middle. Hitting it slightly lower will give the ball a little more height as it flies through the air. As you can see, the ball was struck with the top of my foot as my ankle was locked into place, allowing me to strike it with a lot of force. Next is the dipping shot. This shot is a very difficult technique to execute as it depends on a lot of factors. The technique is similar to the curve shot. The difference is the ball is given a top spin that will allow it to travel down quickly after reaching the top of its arc. This shot is extremely useful when trying to score via a free kick when there is a wall. The speed at which the ball falls allows it to get up over the wall and get it under the crossbar before the goalkeeper has a chance to see it. Just like the curve shot, the planting foot must be 3 to 4 inches from the ball. The ball is struck using the inside of the foot. With this technique, the follow through must be short, but it is the most important part. The follow through for this shot has to be more straight than the curve shot, so that most of the momentum goes toward making it spin over the top. A 3 to 4 step run up is needed to generate enough momentum to provide the ball with top spin. As you swing through the ball, your upper body must be slightly over the ball. Leaning over the ball will keep the ball from going too high once it is struck. Your foot should strike the ball almost exactly in the middle. This is essential to keep the ball from rising. The topspin is generated by the immediate follow-through of your leg. Your foot must lift the ball quickly off the ground before guiding the ball too low so that it doesn't get off the ground. Next up is the knuckleball shot. It is very similar to the baseball knuckleball. This shot is very difficult to learn. It is a nightmare for goalkeepers because it has an unpredictable flight. The ball is struck in a way where it has little to no spin, so slight breezes or even humidity can change the direction of the ball. Striking the ball with power results in even more unpredictable flight patterns. The planting distance is similar to the power shot with a distance of 3 to 4 inches. The ball is struck with the topmost part of the inside of your foot as it is the hardest part of your foot. After striking the ball, the follow-through must be stopped immediately to avoid adding any kind of spin to the ball. The run-up to the ball can vary depending on the player's ability to generate power. The backswing must be long to accumulate the maximum amount of energy possible. The forward swing has to be fast, but must also be able to be controlled in order to keep it short. As you can see, the follow-through was stopped almost immediately after striking through the ball. The ball should be struck almost in the center. This is to avoid adding any kind of spin. This is the key to learning and eventually mastering this technique. Hitting it slightly below the center will result in either a perfectly struck ball or an extremely poor one. So it is a gamble to attempt to use this shot. This still shows the exact part of the foot that is used for this technique. The outside bend shot, also known as the outside of the foot shot, the trivela, the tres dedos, and the Roberto Carlos shot, is a difficult technique to execute. The effect it gives to the ball is essentially what your weaker foot's inside curve shot would look like. However, this shot is struck using the outside of your dominant foot to bend it the opposite direction your foot is traveling. The planting foot distance has to be enough to allow your foot to slightly skim the ball. Contact with the ball is made using the outermost part of your foot to get it to spin. The follow-through is usually long, as a lot of energy is needed for the skim to provide the ball with enough energy to spin and to travel through the air. The starting position, along with the number of steps in the run-up, varies depending on the ability of the player to produce the curve. A large backswing is vital to the execution of the shot. The forward swing toward the ball is also important, as a large amount of energy is required. The ball should be struck slightly to the left if the player is right-footed, and slightly to the right if the player is left-footed. In this close-up side view, you can see that the ball is struck using the outermost part of my right foot. In this still, you can see that in order for the ball to travel in the air, the ball must be struck below the center.